welcome everybody. This is the first episode of our new chronicle in Crusader Kings 3. This one we're going to be reclaiming Italia. This is bumping off of the save game from the end of last chronicle, where we went from the Duchy of Salerno to the Kingdom of Sicily. And this episode here is going to be something of a prologue. I'm going to make quite a bit of use of the pause button. We're probably going to see a number of years pass by here. We're in August of 1061 AD. And the goal is going to be, we're going to start this off by taking Capua. You're going to get to see the CrusaderBlade mod at work there. And we're going to get to fight that battle in Bannerlord. And then it's going to incorporate all of the stats of the armies facing off each other into Bannerlord, and then it's going to take the results from Bannerlord, including who died and who was captured, and import that into the end of battle notes here in CK3. Now, it might not be perfect. A mod this complex usually has some things that are a work in progress, or it doesn't get numbers totally right, or things like that. I don't really know, but it gets them in the ballpark at least. And I haven't done mathematical number crunching to determine how accurate it is or is not. But for instance, if you wound the heir, this guy's heir, if he's on the field of battle and you wound him, you come back and that doesn't necessarily mean that you captured him. And my explanation for that, I don't know if that's the mod not performing, if it's performing as intended or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it is performing as intended, because my explanation for that is that you could be wounded in battle and still be able to flee. It's only if you're knocked unconscious or you're made, what do they call that? Incapacitated, where you lose function of your legs or something, you cannot get off the battlefield, that you would be captured. Now, let me get my timer started. What else are we going to do here? Okay, so the goal of this prologue is to get everything, including Capua, converted over to Orthodoxy. And I think, although I'm not 100% on this, that I would like to have everything be Roman as well, but that could take quite a bit of time, and I'll kind of make a judgment call as I'm playing this episode as to whether or not I want to stick with that or not. But we are playing as Despot Sebastianos Aquila. His father was Marcus. We actually took over as Sebastianos when he was a child at the end of the last campaign. He is now 21 years old and married. He has no children of his own yet. His heir is actually his older sister. If we right-click him, we can look at the biography. And kind of thumb through here. You can see in 1047 he lost his father, Marcus of Italy. He was 7 years old when that happened. He also gained the Despotate of Sicily at that time, and a bunch of other titles here. Made friends with Anthusa at 9 years old. Gained the trait Calm at 9. Gained the trait Just at 11. I guess we went to war for the Duchy of Apulia at age 12, and then it's not that he lost it, it's that he granted it to Lambert. He gained the trait Chaste at 13. Got the county of Benevento at 15, and then granted it to Theodolap. Gained the trait Tough Soldier at 16, the trait Reaver at 16, the trait Rowdy. Oh, he lost Rowdy and gained Reaver at 16. He gained Pilgrim at 19. Oh, he made a rival with Ansfrid of Benevento at age 20. Oh, that's who Ansford is. Okay, and he's our court jester now. Gained Foggia, then granted it away at 20 years old. He got married at 21 to Gabriella, so that's relatively new. 1060. I always have to go through the numbers: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August 30th. Well, that can't be right. Oh yeah, a year ago. Okay, so he's actually coming up on his first year anniversary. And we gained the Duchy of Benevento in April of 1061, so not that long ago. And now we're about to go to war for the duchy. I think it's called the Principality of Capua. So, pardon me one moment. You can see that Sebastianos is a 20 in diplomacy, a 12 in martial, a 14 in stewardship, a 5 in intrigue, and a 15 in learning. And we have a 16 in personal prowess. And he's robust. So his children will have a chance to gain that. That's a nice trait. +4 to prowess, a medium health boost, and +10 to attraction opinion. And our wife, Gabriella, who is from the Macedon Satala family and has claims on the entire Byzantine Empire. Wow, she was born in the purple. She's got a 20 in diplomacy, a 6 in martial, a 12 in stewardship, a 7 in intrigue, and 8 in learning, a 2 in personal prowess. She is comely. That gives +1 diplomacy, +10% fertility, and +10 attraction opinion, and can also be passed down. She's also intelligent. +3 to all stats, +20% to lifestyle experience, and that can be passed down to her children. Smarter than most. We can see that she's a charismatic negotiator, craven, forgiving, and just. So that's a good match, actually. This is a very realistic matchup, not only for diplomacy reasons and claims and ties to powerful families, but even in their traits and personality, they seem to dovetail together well. So hopefully this will go good as a marriage. All right, what do I have her set up doing? She is involved in court politics. We could involve her in stewardship and maybe gain another domain, but I think I'm happy at 7, and we'll just call it good right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and declare war for, let's see, you got the county of Capua here. The Principality of Capua. I do need to make sure of what I'm getting here. This is the county of Napoli, part of, duchy title, Principality of Capua. Okay, so then we will declare war on Prince Gumpert of Spaletto, and looking at him, we can see he is allied to Count Ansfrid. That is our vassal and our hated rival. He will not, by law, be allowed to come to Spaletto's aid. So Gumpert effectively is on his own. His heir is, now we can see they're part of the cadet branch of the Bonifazi dynasty. They are the Bonifazi Piombinos. And his heir, his eldest son, was slain in battle. Oh, goodness, are you about to lose 2 sons in battle? Because this guy, I've play tested this, and this guy will be on the battlefield. But this is his heir, Gumpert Jr., I guess, a Bonifazi Piombino. And then he has a youngest son of Uganino. Bonifacio Piombino. So, what are they? He's an 8 in personal prowess, and his younger brother is a 10. Okay. So we have an idea of who we're up against. They have 5,385 soldiers. They will wind up having more. I guess they must order mercenaries, but it won't matter. We'll be able to handle them. We've got allies and they don't. So we're going to declare war to seize the Principality of Capua because it is de jure to us. It'll cost us 72 prestige. We will now call Prince Symmachos. This is our wife's family. We will call him to war. And we will call Count Lucius. This is our cousin. And he is the Count of Seleucia. And we have another dynasty member here, but this dynasty member is already involved in a war. You can see already at war neg 50 there. So we cannot call him to war. That's okay, we don't need him. We will raise our own troops. And our army will be led by our marshal, Chrysogonos, who is 32 years old. He is Herculean, and he has a personal prowess score of 24. These actually won't matter a whole lot because we're going to be doing this in Bannerlord. This one might help because it might determine what kind of equipment he starts with. But at any rate, that's who we will actually be playing as, because our king is not going to, there's no need for him to risk himself on the field of battle. He's a king. That's what he has knights for. We're going to come up here to the barony of Casino because it's in mountains, and the Bannerlord, the CrusaderBlade mod will try to match you with the terrain, because Bannerlord has that capability now, so CrusaderBlade makes use of that. And these other two areas are plains. We'll get a defensive bonus for being here in the mountains. So we'll unpause it, and time is now rolling forward. Ally joins war, Count Lucius. Ally joins war, Prince Symmachos of Chaldea. Excellent. Now, the reason I'm going to set up here is that I happen to know, again from my play testing, I know that their army will be bigger than us, so they will come and attack us. If they were smaller, I would probably go right after Capua. Alright, now, they have more troops than we do, about 700 more, but it says that the odds are even, and you can see here they have a better army commander who has more commander traits, and their army composition has more counters to our army than we do to theirs. So those are their advantages. But we effectively nullify all of those advantages by being in the mountains with a river crossing that we can defend. So they're going to show up on the battlefield not at optimum readiness. And they're also going to have to likely attack uphill, even if it's not a steep incline in the actual game itself. It's giving us that bonus. I guess that won't really actually carry over to Bannerlord. It'll depend more on what kind of terrain we get. But that's what Crusader Kings 3 is reporting if we were to let CK3 handle this battle. So we will unpause. And then we have now joined battle, and it says actually that we have the advantage. We're defending a river crossing, we're defending in mountains, and we have a better army commander. That's because these guys have not arrived yet. If you notice, this icon has a red X on it. We cannot fight yet. We have to wait. Okay, now their entire team got there, and now we can fight. And it is indeed even. Okay, so 6,260 versus 6,953. Those numbers are a little bit different, even though it says that there are no casualties yet. Both of us have 9 knights apiece. Fighting in favorable terrain. Okay, so my pikemen are gaining some advantage here. And let's go ahead and click this, and we'll watch this game load up in Bannerlord. This entire first episode might actually be this fight, because I'm explaining a lot of stuff. Pardon me just one moment. Okay, in this screen here, I saw old CrusaderBlade, and they used to give you basically a scorecard. It was an order of battle. For each side, they showed you how many of each troop type that they had. It looks like they've done away with that, and my guess is to open that up to more flexibility for mods on both sides to change troop types, and this just sticks with basic. It's going to represent footmen with guys with shields and armor and, stuff like that. Right here, maximum battle size, I have it set to 1,000. You want to also go into Bannerlord itself and make sure that your settings, like maybe before you start a game with CrusaderBlade, go into Bannerlord like you were going to play a campaign in Bannerlord, and go to your options and make sure that your max battle size matches whatever you want to put in here. Or that it matches or exceeds, I guess. Siege garrison multiplier, I don't really know what that's for yet. My assumption would be, pardon me, for future capability, because I don't think you fight sieges with this mod yet, but I do believe that they're working on it. Right here under inventory, this is coming in the future. This is where the stuff that we make for our family, like heirlooms, like a set of armor, a family sword, that kind of stuff. Those things that give you benefits on the battlefield that get passed down from ruler to ruler within a dynasty, they will be selectable in here. It looks like. That's my guess. But we're going to go ahead and hit start and let this thing load up. This is incredibly fun. For me, it allows you to get to know your knights on a totally different level. This is our best knight, actually. I think he's 27 years old. This is Fratello. We have Alexander, Lambert, Megistas, Antonio, Almando, Procopius. We have 2 of them, actually. There's the second one. One of these is a count. So, we have some mayors in here. I think we got a duke. I think maybe Lamberto is a duke. I think Megistas is a mayor. Lambert, I think, is a duke. And then we have Chrysogonos, who we are playing as. Okay, so you can see we didn't really get much of a setup here when it comes to I guess terrain, like high ground. Okay. Also, I'm going to try something that I've not done yet. I've consistently had some difficulty in defending my archers, so I'm going to grab some of my infantry, maybe 10%. That's 40 infantry. And that's group 5. Okay. Leaving me 367 in my front lines. Group 5, I'm going to stick kind of... Let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, I'm not going to put the archers in front. So group 5, I want them to be maybe 3 deep. They probably need to be the same combat width, roughly. And they're going to sit back here to keep cavalry from coming around and flanking in without paying some sort of a price, you know, into my archers. These guys, I'm going to stretch them out a little bit. Like that. I'm going to put them in a shield wall right off the bat. Okay. It's always good to have the archers spread out. I'm going to give them some room. Maybe bring them to there. Okay, now that does present problems for this group 5. I'm doing this for the first time. The best thing I can think to do is to go ahead and put them into the middle. Because if I stretch them out to be the same combat width, they're only going to be one line deep. Okay, so, and I'll just have to try and use my cav over here to protect flanks. All right, speaking of cav, we'll put them into a skein formation. And we'll go ahead and hit ready then. Let's see, group 5. Go to a shield wall. I want my bowmen to hold fire. What are these guys moving for? Oh, okay. That's my frontline troops, okay. Actually, to tell you the truth, it looks like they're waiting for us. I've not had this happen before. I thought that because we're the defenders, they have to assault us. They are closing distance, okay. It's just their cavalry that's standing by. They have 16 cav on our right flank and 17 on our left. I do not have a shield. I don't know why. "150 meters seems to be the kill distance for our arrows. At least I saw that on somebody else's playthrough, so I've just been kind of going off of it. I don't know if there's a way for me to inspect my archers or something to see what their range is. Their cav is already gonna have a hard time getting around the edges to flank my archers. So I feel pretty good about this contingent of 40 back here being able to just be a presence. These guys will have to pay the iron price at least twice if they come in on my archers, I believe. Possibly 3 times if my cav hits them. My cav is not very large. It's just our knights. It has a kind of Arthur and his round table sort of feel to it. But because they are knights, they all have good, solid prowess. They're not just run-of-the-mill cataphracts. We are fighting another Greek-style army, so they also will have cataphracts. As we expand into foreign lands, which won't happen until we're over in the Croatia areas, you'll probably start to see different styles of army that are pulling from other cultures in Bannerlord to make up their troop count. All right, their infantry's at 200 meters, roughly. And they're trying to keep formation. Okay, they are approaching in formation. They're now under 150, so
Arrows! Loose arrows!
their cav units are still well behind. Okay, here they come. Both cav units are charging in now. I'm gonna let these lines... Oh, there we go, okay. I'm gonna turn my knights loose because we have cav to deal with in the back already. And I want them to operate autonomously. Totally jerked my mouse a little bit. Damage. All right, got that guy. Missed him. Couldn't quite line that up. Got him. My guys, I've taken, excuse me, I've taken off the little overhead marker to try and make things a little bit more realistic. That was my guy. Okay. My infantry has won their battle, it looks like. I'm going to advance them onto the archers now. That's my guy. My guy. I think these are mine. Yeah. No, that one's theirs. A little bit of stutter. I don't normally have that problem. That's my guy. Oh, again, my guys. Is everybody in retreat? We're having a lot of stutter here. Again, I don't normally have that issue. This is the first time I've seen stutter. What shield do you have? Okay, you're one of mine. Everybody can attack. Might need to turn down settings a little bit. I'd like to see this duplicated though a few times. This stuttering. This is the first time I'm seeing it. That is my own man? Yes, it is. Okay. So they're in full retreat. Enemy cavalry captain has fallen. I might need to bring those markers back. I'm having a hard time identifying enemy. Okay, and I think now the music is changing. I believe we've gotten everybody. Run them all off the field, yep. Okay, so without the use of those identifying markers, I had a lot fewer kills than I normally would. Yeah, they're all gone, so everybody left on the field is us. Let's go ahead and hit tab. Oh no, we're not. It says we're not done. I don't understand. Let me go find my knights. Who are you guys chasing down? Mine. Ah, there he is. And down he goes. Okay. Alright, let's see how we did then. The attacker army, that's them. They only had 98 kills. Oh my gosh. They lost 219. They had 91 killed and 208 wounded or routed, I should say. No. I apologize. 219 were killed, 91 were wounded, 208 fled the field. Now, each one of these represents, because remember, we just had a battle of 500 versus 500. I had it set to 1,000. That's how many troops total can be on the field at once in a Bannerlord custom battle. But they have to represent much larger armies, because in CK3, if you remember, we had an army of like 6,300 versus an army of 6,100 or something. So each one of these kills is actually representative, and that's why whenever I got that one kill, it said I took down like 67 levies, because that one guy was representing 67 levies, right? So the math all works in the background, and it'll import everything for us into CK3, and we're about to take a look at that. So here we are. We had 4 kills. Again, each one of these kills represents a pool of people that we took down. Alexander had 5, Antonio had 2, Fratello had 2, Megistas had 3, Almando had 2, and Procopius had 2. Our armored footmen did real well. Our bowmen didn't have a whole lot of kills, but they're launching against armor. Our levies, another 89 kills from our levies. That's nice. We had 22 kills from the pikemen. So we'll hit done, and that will bring everything back into CK3 right here. We will unpause it, and then we will get the results of this battle. And it tells us that we entered the battle with 6,330 soldiers. We suffered 1,148 losses, so we have 5,182 remaining troops. They entered the battle with 7,003 soldiers. They had 5,757 deaths. I didn't show you, but on the screen leading into the Bannerlord fight, where you can set how many troops, what your max troop amount is, and I had it set at 1,000. There's also a lethality bar there. The default is where I keep it at 70%. If you get struck down in battle, you have a 70% chance of dying. That's what the default is. That's where I kept it at. But you can adjust that however high or low as you want. But you can see that out of 7,003, they had 5,757 losses. So they only have 1,246 survivors. This was termed the slaughter at Casino, and we basically broke their spines here. This army is not fit to face off against us, against any of us. Even our allies with smaller armies will be able to take them down. If we open up the details, I like to move over right away to knights, and I just kind of take a look here. 68 kills by Alexander, 54 is what it amounted to for Chrysogonos. The Count of Megistas, the Count of Napoli had 40, Fratello had 27. So I just like to kind of see how everybody did. Here's Duke Lambert and Duke Procopius. Procopius. I'm going to say it's Procopius. Probably Procopius. Almost assuredly. The only knight for them that had any production was Varum. And then if we look over at events, we can see that we captured Ildices after the battle. He has a prowess of 0. This might have been the last guy that we took down there at the very end. But he has been captured and is now in our dungeons. Other than that, we didn't have any kills. Nobody lost any knights. It would tell us who killed who if we did. And everything is reflected here. So we'll save it for this episode. And in the next episode, we will continue this campaign and this prologue. It's going to take more than one episode, it looks like. But I like the idea of making this its own episode because it actually introduces you to the mechanics of how the CrusaderBlade mod works. So again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I will save this game so you can see me save it. Boom, 7 November 1061 AD, and we are in progress of seizing the de jure Duchy of Capua. It should be ours. It's de jure ours. All right, I'll see you in the next episode where this story continues.